At Panem 360, I have the great pleasure of talking today with the members of the Stenhammar Quartet and the composer Örjan Sandred. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And so the Stenhammar Quartet will be performing on two concerts, one on the 27th of October at Le Vivier, a concert entitled Tales of Strength, and another concert where works by Mr. Sandred will be played. It will be in the for the Live at Kermit series at the Schulich School of Music. So everybody, thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with the quartet in itself. So you are one of the more well-established string quartets in Scandinavia, one of the leading string quartets in Scandinavia. You are from Sweden, and you cover a wide-ranging repertoire from classical music to more contemporary works. So tell us more about the program of this concert of the 27th. What is it about?
Well, I can start. Well, we thought, first of all, to include some Swedish music, of course. We really try to promote Swedish music, especially when we go abroad. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, also include music from here, locally Canadian composer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we came up with this program, and we got some ideas also from Örjan with choosing works from Canada.
Yeah, and I mean,
because we weren't completely familiar with the works that.
Okay.
The Canadian composers, but it's been a great acquaintance, really.
Okay, so it's been a discovery for all of you discovering these pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and when we look at it, it's entitled "Tales of Strength" because, from what I gather, each of these pieces cover the thematic of overcoming hardships and surviving great ordeals. So is it something that you found in the way that the music is written and in the dynamics that the music is written?
Well, I mean, it's so also that you can find within the compositions, like for example, Anna Einarsson's Courage, Mon Ami. It's about her struggling during the pandemic, mm-hmm. and this was like a healing process for her to come through this, writing this quartet for us. So that's one tale of strength. And then the other Swedish, Karl-Erik Berlin, that's more his situation, I think, and hardship. Yeah. At the time when he wrote this piece, he had some hard times. Yeah. I don't know if it's quite reflected in the music, so to speak, but we think of it while performing it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and all of the works are majorly from the 21st century. The only piece that's from the 20th is the one that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
From
1974. So yeah. That's an old.
Yeah, exactly. And you are at ease with both repertoire, with this wide range of repertoire from classical music to more contemporary works. Not a lot of quartet, I think, are that much at ease with this. What made you choose this spot and this will to perform and to promote both sides of music, both that type of music?
It's been with us from the beginning when we started. I mean, when we formed the quartet, it was because we were heavily into the works of the Swedish composer Stenhammar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we wanted to do these pieces desperately, and we had a common wish to do that, all of us. So that was the start. But then we started commissioning pieces, and we were given some pieces, and we just started enjoying doing contemporary music. And it's been a part of our work, for decades now, commissioning pieces and getting to know composers. So we enjoy that a lot.
All right. Mr. Sandred, you are a Swedish-Canadian composer and a professor of composition at the Des Hôtels Faculty of Music at the University of Manitoba. You founded there the Studio Flat, which is a music studio that supports a variety of projects ranging from music technology, electroacoustics, live electronics, and so on. And two of your pieces will be performed on November 1st at the Live at Kermit series. A Ghazal and the Sketches of Shifting Landscapes, which will be its world premiere. So tell us about those pieces that implement live electronics and live musicians.
Yeah, I mean, I have my career had developed in a way that I have been working more and more with live electronics. I guess it started back in the 1990s. When I spent the year at IRCAM, and I went to IRCAM because I was interested in working with electronics, but that really made me choose that path even more, even though I do other things also, of course. So most of my pieces for the last 20 years have touched on live electronics. And of course, that also invites you to collaborate with performers, because if you work with the live part of the electronics, you need a live feed from some performer, and to work with that alone is very hard, because you never know exactly what to expect from a live feed. You have ideas at home. I mean, you try things to imitate and simulate live performers, but then when you meet performers, you get a different perspective and an experience of what the actual situation will be for the performer. So I always enjoyed the process of trying to approach and get closer to the performance of music more and more, and to see how that can be integrated in the electronic part. And I think, I always try to tell people that the power of music can be very, very big, but when you include loudspeakers, if we just speak about the sound of music, so to speak, and not the other aspect that's also important, but then you can explore any type of sound with speakers, and to combine that with real performers that give the living aspect of performing music, then you can get a very powerful expression that I love to explore, and I still explore, because I think it's an endless exploration out there. So when I got the chance here to work with the Stenhammar Quartet, I was thrilled, because I've been thinking about string quartets for a long time, but to work with a string quartet closely is you have to engage 4 performers in one room. It's easier to work with solo performers when in these type of projects. So that was fantastic, actually. So I'm really grateful for that. And then I received this Guggenheim Fellowship, which allowed me to do that also between the 2 continents, because that allowed me to travel back and forth a bit and to engage the quartet on a professional level, so that was very nice.
And what elements of dynamics did you imbue in your pieces, like sketches of shifting landscapes that the quartet will be playing? What will they be doing to implement these?
So that particular, every piece I write, I tend to have a different perspective, and it's kind of a searching or researching, if you want, for this expression. So every piece has a little bit of a different perspective. So this piece, it's very trendy to talk about artificial intelligence, of course.
Of course.
I've been slightly involved in that since the late 1990s. So I think I have a little bit of perspective of what it means, and the trendy part of it. I'm not so impressed by what's going on in the society right now with all these chatbots and everything. I think it's a little bit of a magician's trick that you tend to think that the machine is intelligent, but it's just an illusion. That's the illusion is that, so to speak. So I think that's important to remember. And I think the good use of this, there's a lot of good use. There got a lot of stupid uses, but there's a lot of good use. And so in this particular piece, there is some sections where the computer generates a complement to what the string quartet is playing live during the concert. So the score or the sound file does not exist before the concert starts, so to speak. So every concert will be, at least in theory, unique from that perspective, even though you get very close. And why I would do that is because then you have the chance to adapt, for example, harmony and structure to what actually is being performed at the moment, not bugging the performers with that hardship of trying to do that. And so it's a question of creating a harmonic field in the background that always adjusts to whatever is done on stage, so to speak. It's trying to kind of readjust to that. So that's one example. And then there's also the question of variation. There's melodic elements in the electronic part that will, in detail, will be different for every performance. So that's, I give a very technical answer to your question.
I mean, that is excellent, and it leans into my next question, which is how do the performers approach live electronics? So the question now falls to you from the Stenhammar Quartet. How do you approach a piece that implements live electronics, like the one of Mr. Sandred?
Yeah, we had the opportunity to work quite a lot over a year. Yeah. In a very fancy studio in Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really luxurious. It's exciting to play with and against the electronic, other machine.
You never know what comes out.
But we're doing our thing with the string parts, and then the other entity is supposed to react to it. So I guess we just have to do our thing.
I think that's true, Peter. But at the same time, most likely, as a trained performers, you adapt also to what you hear from the speakers.
Yes, of course. It's interaction.
Kind of a give and take. Yeah. But I agree with you. I mean, that's the ideal, that you don't want to make a technical exercise out of your piece. You want it to just flow musically. So that's ideally that's how it should work, I think.
So there's a great deal of interaction between what you hear and what you are playing then.
Yeah.
So right, well, this promises to be really interesting for those two concerts. So the first one will be on the 27th of October in the Le Vivier concert series at the Wilder. This will be the Stenhammar Quartet performing Tales of Strength with a lot of pieces by different contemporary composers. And November 1st at Live at Kermit series at the Schulich School of Music with two works from Örjan Sandred. So it is un rendezvous, comme on dit en français. So thank you very much to all of you for this interview, and enjoy your stay in Montreal.
Thanks, Alexander.
Thank you very much. Thank you.